So, like my ex-wife said on our honeymoon, let's get this over with.
Good way to start. So, why are we doing St. Valentine's Day Massacre now at the end of February instead of on actual Valentine's Day, which was Sunday this year?
Yeah.
Well, it's because this was the WWF debut of Paul Wight, and since he just left the company, it ties in. And totally not the fact that we just forgot to do one because February went by really fast.
Yes, what he said.
It's all on purpose.
Alright, so, consider how late it is. I don't think we really have time to go match by match.
Right.
But I thought this was a lot of fun. No bad matches per se. There was a few things that were like, okay, but everything was good, really good match-wise. Is there anything you wanted to bring up immediately?
Well, I feel I need to explain Blue Dust to you because the first match was Gold Dust versus Blue Dust.
Yes, this was a thing, and they had this whole complicated explanation at the beginning.
This is like deep. This is when I was watching, so I remember all of this happening. Like, I didn't watch this pay-per-view, but they talked about it on Raw and on Heat, and they showed the clip, so I was there for all this. What was going on with Blue Dust? He was the Blue Meanie, and he was from, the King brought that up. He was from ECW. Okay. His whole gimmick was, like, it started with him, Stevie Richards, or Steven Richards from Right to Censor, who, the leader of him, and God, I want to say Justin Colonel, someone else, but there was three guys in ECW, and they made the Blue World Order, which was a parody of the New World Order. And that just became his gimmick, was just impersonating other superstars, and he got into a feud with Gold Dust, so he was Blue Dust. Yeah, and I saw the clip of him in just the grapes and the blue paint. Yeah, I saw that happen live.
I will see that in my nightmares tonight. But yeah, I'll do one thing I do want to say about that match in particular. Tale as old as time, Vince really messed up by not utilizing Goldust more. Because what little bits I've seen of him, he's really good, he was really funny, and he's in his 50s now.
Yeah.
I saw him in the Mixed Match Challenge with Mandy Rose. He was great. He was funny, he could still go. He's weird, which is a lot of fun. So, yeah, Vince has always had brain damage.
Now he's helping AEW.
Yeah.
There was the match between Al Snow and Bob Holly for the hardcore title.
That was great.
Which had the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen in wrestling when they're in the backstage area, and there's an area where there's clearly a janitorial thing, and they had this row of mops. There is never that many mops in one place when you need to find them.
Yeah.
But this was where he became they're talking about him being Sparky Plug.
Yeah.
And he's part of the Job Squad with Al Snow and Gilberg. Before he became Gilberg, when he was doing Gil, and it led to the thing. But this was the transition between Sparky Plug to Hardcore Holly, because after he won the Hardcore title, that's when he became Hardcore Holly.
Yeah.
And did you ever hear the story about him? Went to Vince and he pinched that he should win the WWF Championship, and that he should just beat everybody up.
No. But yeah, speaking of that, like I said, the really fun match. Just two dudes beating the ever-living crap out of each other. There was one funny moment because the match does eventually go outside, and they're in Memphis, Tennessee, and they end up at the bank of the Mississippi River. And at one point, I think it was Holly, just grabs this big honking piece of wood and hits it on Al Snow, and the announcer was like, "Oh no, a stick, a stick!"
Ooh.
It was a stick. It was just this big honking wood, but that was the least impressive phrase you could have used at the time.
It was like a tree branch. A stick! Ooh! A stick!
But yeah, there was a lot of fun stuff. Al Snow got wrapped up in chain link fence. They ended up in the river at one point. Al
Snow strangled Holly with a piece of barbed wire, saying, "I'd like to be your girlfriend, barbed wire!"
Oh yeah, when he grabbed the payphone, "Rita, touch someone!" The 90s.
Yeah, only 90s kids will get this reference.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like I said, that's when the hardcore, it had just been created as part of the...
Yeah, because they said he was only the third champion at the time.
And Road Dogg had to vacate because he got legit injured. Yeah. But it was created on a lark when Mr. McMahon was manipulating Mankind. And he gave him this title, like, you're the hardcore champion, because that was his whole thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's before the 24/7 rule came into effect, and it became effectively a comedy belt.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't get when people complain about the 24/7 championship.
Yeah.
And, like, how it's like, that's what it became, and I kind of got upset, because, like, yeah, there used to be, like, these kinds of matches all the time.
Yeah.
And there's, like, some kind of relevance to it.
Yeah.
So, but, yeah, like, it was a lot of fun.
Speaking of R-Truth, I almost half expected him to show up with some time
Yeah.
travel shenanigans or something.
I would not put it past him.
Yeah. Like, this ain't my baby.
They should fucking find a way to do that and just edit him somehow. Those things would be great. I did want to touch on the Val Venus versus Ken Shamrock for the Intercontinental title match. Because there's the storyline there was Val was dating or just sexing up Ken Shamrock's sister, Ryan.
Right.
That was one of the angles where Vince wanted to have the incest angle going on. He wanted... It wasn't just that Ken was protective of his little sister, he wanted them to bang. Now, to make it slightly better, they are not actually brother and sister.
Okay.
But they were dating at the time, so it's still a little weird. Vince is this probably literal hard-on for incest. I don't know why.
He's a very strange man. We will talk a little bit more about Vince later, at least. But that one, I really liked, again, good match overall, but I liked the story here where they had the... Because Ken Shamrock beat up like an actual referee, they had Road Dogg,
Billy Gunn.
Billy Gunn.
Mr. Ass.
Who's an actual wrestler, be a special guest referee for that match, and he didn't like either.
Yeah.
So he kept delaying the count out so they would just keep beating the crap out of each other.
Like one time.
Oh, yeah, sorry, like something's wrong with my shoulder.
Like the one time he stopped, I don't think he even gave a shoulder, he just stopped. He's like,
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's three. No, it's only two.
Yeah. And then when he finally did it is when Ken Shamrock like got in his face and pushed him, that pissed him off enough. So he like immediately threw him the Val Venus, and then just 1, 2, 3, like as quick as humanly possible.
So it wasn't even, it was just like 3, done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was just fun.
Oh yeah. Weird.
Yeah. Then we're not even gonna get to the whole feminist politics of like apparently his sister is not allowed to have her own sexual agency.
Yeah,
because we don't have time to unwrap all that.
Yeah, that was some '90s stuff.
Yeah,
that's not aged well.
But speaking of some stuff with women that was awesome, I don't know if it was the next match or not, but we had a tag team match. It was Triple H and X-Pac versus Kane in Chyna. And this match makes me so frustrated about how WWE... I mean, they're starting to ease up on it a little, with stuff like the Mixed Match Challenge and the stuff with Sasha and the Sommelier. But there's no good reason why we can't have intergender wrestling, because this match fucking rocked. And the fact that it was intergender was just basically a cherry on top. Because... ignore that as a factor. Just pretend it's either all women or all men. Everything about this match worked. The story, what happened in the ring. It was a great match. Probably my top 20 matches I've seen since I've gotten to wrestling. And it involved Chyna beating the crap out of 2 muscular dudes.
Yeah. And power slamming Triple H.
Yeah.
Like over her head. Like easily.
Yeah.
Like we just lost something so special with her.
Yeah. It's like I wasn't even in wrestling when I heard she was died. I just started reading all the stories like fans interacting with her. Mick Foley wrote this long, beautiful thing. And it's just,
It's one of those things you kind of forget, like, because how tall she was.
Yeah.
Like, I watched it until I saw her next to Kane. I'm like, oh, she's pretty close to Kane's height. Like, she was, obviously smaller, but, like, not by much. Like, X-Pac was the smallest person in that ring.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that was just... great match, but I'm frustrated that we can't have it anymore, I guess.
It's also weird to go back and watch when Triple H was still in DX and he had, like, the full, like, tights on instead of just the trunks. And I was wondering, like, he had, like, the red and black, and, like, that's weird. I was like, oh, because he's fighting Kane. I bet that's a dig at Kane, because he had the China Syndrome shirt on. Yeah. It's a dig at her.
And wiped his butt with it.
Yep. Symbolism. Speaking of tag team matches, I do want to touch this one. The for the tag team titles, it was
yeah.
Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett against Mark Henry and D'Lo Brown. And the thing is, again, this is when I got into it, I hated Owen and Jeff as like characters. So I guess they were doing their jobs because they were heels. But I respected them as a tag team because they were a damn good tag team. And they earned those titles.
Match. It was a really good match. I think this was the one where there's this really cool move where Jeff Jarrett tried to slam D'Lo, but like D'Lo caught him in midair and just slammed him into the ring. That was cool.
Yeah. Again, this is really watching these things back. Like one of the reasons the Attitude Era was so good and so popular is like they had an amazing roster.
They really
and they used them all well.
Yeah, that's the biggest difference between then and now, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, like Jeff and Owen were kind of a mixed, thrown together tag team, but they fucking worked. You wouldn't have guessed they weren't a tag team before the first time you watched them.
Yeah, when they first showed up, it was like a Jeff Jarrett and one of the Hart brothers. Yeah. Okay, this seems random, but I'm used to that.
They were so good as a tag team.
Yeah.
And you saw that in action, like they were helping, like fighting them on the ring, and like when D'Lo was trying to do something and distract him, and Owen would hit him, and then Jeff would hit him.
Yeah.
When Mark Henry had Jeff over his head, and Owen just came in and smashed his fucking knee with the guitar.
Yeah.
They're like trying to get the pieces out of the ring, and the ref just didn't. It's still there. There's still like many pieces of this guitar.
Hey, where did this guitar came from? Don't worry about it. Do your job.
Yeah. And then we got to see Ivory rip off Deborah's shirt.
Okay, I didn't know whether to talk about this or not, but this is where like I might lose some feminist street cred here. But if you're gonna do a whole the whole thing was Mark Henry is dating Ivory, and Ivory warned Deborah, that's just her name, Deborah. Hi, Deb, if you're watching this. That if she got involved in her man's match, she would rip Deborah's clothes off. And the announce team wouldn't let that go. It's like, look.
Especially Jerry Lawler.
If you want to do something like that, just have Ivory say, don't get involved in my man's match or you'll regret it. Just leave it at that. Don't telegraph what you're going to do. And then, if you're going to tease one woman is going to get her clothes ripped off, just fucking do it. And this is the thing where I got ridiculous, because, okay, she did get involved. Ivory did attack Deborah in an attempt to rip clothes off. And this almost was clever. Jared and Hart used their tag team belts to cover her up. The problem was her shirt never actually came off, and it was backless, so we saw she was wearing a bra. So what exactly did you accomplish here?
Yeah.
It just seemed like, okay, let's just never mind this sexist bullshit. If you're gonna do it, just fucking do it, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know what that says about me as a person. But
especially like boobs, and that's fine.
Yeah.
It's just don't go overboard with it. Like don't be sleazy with it. That's always been my thing. But like the other backstory is, at this time, Mark Henry's gimmick was sexual chocolate. That's why he came out to the faux Barry White.
Okay,
thing.
yeah, I didn't even make that connection.
Yeah, and he was distracted by Deborah because she is very hot.
She is.
Also married to Stone Cold now.
Oh, lucky him.
At least they were. I think they're still married. I can't remember. But they were married for a while. Anyway. So, that's why D'Lo got, Ivory involved to be Mark Henry's girlfriend.
And Ivory's got some abs.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go on record saying that.
And so, the thing is, like, the sexual chocolate gimmick is one of those things where, like, they gave Mark Henry first came in this obscene contract. Because Vince's like, hey, he won the Olympics. Get him in here. Legit cred. Things like that. And then, like, he wasn't quite working out. So they were trying to do him all this stuff to, like, embarrass him to leave and, void his contract. However, if you listen to that crowd and you watch him, we need to give Mark Henry more credit because he fucking worked that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought he was fine, and the crowd clearly dug it.
Yeah, so, all credit to him.
Yeah, so, again, I don't think there were some, like, problematic issues with some of the matches as discussed.
Yeah.
But none of them were bad.
No.
None of them was like the get your ass in my face thong match from that other one we did.
Yeah, no. Like, things didn't age well, but
Yeah.
the match quality was really good. Like I
Yeah.
said, there was this height of Attitude Era where they knew matches were good. People knew what they, even when they were just a brawl, they worked.
Yeah,
because they knew what to do with people.
Yeah. Next one that comes to mind is the obvious one is Rock versus Mankind.
Yes.
They're like, this is what I was expecting last time, because this is what I'm used to with The Rock. He's just this big, bombastic personality, great on the mic. The main thing that threw me off is that he was a heel.
Yeah.
So everyone was booing him. I get it, that's his job, and he did it well. Like, as he was presented in this match, I fucking hate him because he was an asshole. But since, Dwayne Johnson himself is such a beloved person nowadays, it just seemed weird.
Yeah, it is weird to go back to his event. This is when he was the corporate champion.
Yeah. And this is also, like, basically my first Mankind match, I think, because I've seen clips, and I know who, like, the gist of Mick Foley as a person, because, we've, like, seen him on talk shows, and, like I said, I've read some of his writing. So I get who Mick Foley is a person, but this is like the first time I've seen the Mankind character, and just the way he talked. It's like, gee, fellas, you shouldn't be treating me like this.
Well, that's what, it worked with...
And I really liked it. I want to see more Mankind now. And it was a great match.
It's why there is the three faces of Foley. Like, eventually we'll get to stuff where, like, he's Dude Love and also Cactus Jack. Like, they are completely separate characters.
Yeah.
And that's what made Mick Foley great. He knew what to do with that.
Yeah.
And this is where he was the champion. Again, I think he lost it from Raw and got it back, but yeah, like, this was the unlikely championship, and there was the I Quit, or Last Man Standing match that ended in a draw, but in a way that, like, the crowd started chanting bullshit, but it worked storyline, because he and Rock bashed each other in the head with chairs and just collapsed.
Yeah, and, like, Rock, got caught in the ropes for half a second before he fell. And there was one bit where Rock had the chair and went for Mankind, hit the ropes, and bounced back and hit himself in the face. Like, I'm not sure that was supposed to happen.
That was a mistake.
But it worked.
Yeah. I like he got on the commentary table for a while and talked shit. So, this was peak Rock.
Rock is, like, great character work. Great wrestler, great character work. And the reason why he's so beloved and still...
And it is weird, like, watching
these days,
watching so many Last Man Standing matches now to see it actually end in the ring, even if it's a draw.
Yeah,
it ended in the ring, and like they're taking him back to the ambulances. And there's time where Mankind's like, are you taking me back? I'm like, I'm not entirely sure he's in character. He might legitimately be asking that. Yeah. Like, it is hard to watch these matches now with all the chair shots to the head. Yeah. Knowing what we know now.
Yeah.
Whew, but like it was a lot of them too. It was appropriately brutal.
Yeah.
So, and like this was like their third or fourth match. It was one of those things where like
the hype package.
Yeah. They knew how to plan multiple pay-per-view feuds too. Yeah. Like, it wasn't like now where sometimes it just, okay, we've seen it, let's move on. Like, they did it really well. Like, I was invested in it. It was like Rock, Mankind, Austin McMahon, and then eventually Rock, Austin. Like, it was everything I feel like everything was better in my day. I'm going to yell at these clouds, I'm an old man. But, like, there was a shift in the writing. Yeah. Like, so it's not just me. But
like, I could tell the difference in the writing and the storytelling. I would argue the match quality is better nowadays, at least for the big ones. I can't speak for overall because I haven't gone back and watched many old Raws, but yeah, there's definitely a marked difference in the storytelling.
Yeah. Oh, we forgot to mention Shane McMahon was on commentary for the...
and you could tell he's Vince's son, because when he yelled so much, he sounded like Vince.
Yeah, I forgot how much he used to yell on commentary. He was like the hype man. Yeah. Let's get him! Come on, get him, Kane! Get him, China! Yeah, X-Punk! Chain that down! Like, damn!
And now I want a mutant team called the X-Punks. Get on it, Marvel.
Alright, so let's go to the match, the main event. Yeah. The one that, again, that was like very hyped for me. Austin versus McMahon in a steel cage. Kind of.
Yeah. Again, great story, but there's one thing I just do want to mention right away. I am, like, legit surprised and almost unsettled, like, how jacked Vince McMahon was. And I don't mean, like, he was in good shape for all that. No. He had more muscle mass than Stone Cold.
Yeah. Okay? That was always the thing. Like, when I saw him wrestle, like, because he's always in the suits and stuff. Like, I wrestle, like, holy shit. Like,
did he eat the chair? It's just good, dear God, man.
You could tell because he did want to be a wrestler at first, but his dad forbade him. Like, and I don't think that's ever gone away, and that's why he works out. I think he's still in that I don't think he's in that much shape, but he's still in good shape.
Yeah.
And, like, it's ridiculous.
It's just like I said, just something unsettling about it, almost.
Yeah. But also, on a personal note, I miss, like, this version of the steel cage. It was the black version, because it's, ooh.
Yeah.
But, like, just, like, the big bars and, like, the big gaps, and they put it around the ring. It wasn't just, like, chain link fences.
Yeah.
I just like that aesthetic. I miss that.
Yeah, but again, this was a great story. Vince and Stone Cold start playing mind games with each other before they get in the ring. They start beating the ever-living crap out of each other before they get in the ring, to the point where paramedics come to start wheeling Vince away. And Stone Cold gets on the mic, nah, this is fucking bullshit. He didn't say fuck it, but he did say bullshit.
He did say bullshit.
It's like, I made a promise to these people that I would beat his ass in the ring. So get him in here. And when the paramedics still try to wheel him away, he just hops out and just shoves everyone away, grabs Vince, and drags him back into the ring.
I also gotta give Vince credit because, like, before the match started, part of the mind games, he jumped up and climbed the side of the cage and taunted Austin down there. So, like, okay, damn. And like, when he's like, he ran around the ring and Austin finally got out of the cage, he got into the ring, and he, like, grabbed it and, like, just double fucking kicked at Austin. I'm like, damn, yeah, like, it's hard to, like, it's easy to forget, like, he actually was pretty athletic.
Yeah.
So, damn, but, yeah, I love that, like, I just love, and I love, like, Austin, like, got him in the ring, beat the crap out of him, he's already hurt, it's like, Austin could just walk right out, and Vince just
kept flipping him off. At one point, Vince is giving him, like, the double deuce, but he also looks like he's hey, my mommy, please make him stop. Also, fuck you.
Because he had been just cut open at this point. He was bleeding.
Yeah.
Like, just destroyed. And then Austin took the bait, and it was going to be, and then the big, well, he's Paul Wight. He wasn't
the big show yet. Now he's Paul Wight again.
Appeared from underneath the ring, and that was the
which was kind of cool. That did freak me out, because I was like, didn't see that part of the ring, so it was just a little thick to me. This guy was like appeared almost,
and it's weird to see him with hair again.
Yeah.
And then of course the infamous ending where he just slammed Austin from cage for a while, then threw him in the cage, and it busted the cage open, and Austin just fell out.
Yeah. Yeah, and like, everybody was like, oh, what the fuck just happened? Even Stone Cold's like, what?
Yeah.
I won? Cool!
So I forgot to look into it, but I don't know if that was planned or it just happened, but,
it
Austin,
worked.
Yeah, Austin won. Vince's hubris got the better of him.
Yeah.
But I do love, like, they brought him in because the stipulation was no member of the corporation.
Which was the faction at the time.
Could get involved with the match, otherwise Austin would automatically win. So technically Paul Wight wasn't part of the corporation, and he was just now part of the company, but he was a surprise, because before he was, the Giants in WCW. Yeah. It'd be funny if they didn't bring the Giant back for the one Halloween Havoc thing, where he fell off the building, and that was all you saw in WCW, and then he appeared in WWF.
Yeah, that would have been pretty hilarious, actually.
It would have been better.
But yeah, I won't say this is the best of the old pay-per-views since we started doing this show, but I think this was the most fun. I just enjoy it. Was just, it had a good energy to it. Like, even the opening bit where they have that cheesy love song, all the clips of carnage and destruction.
I missed those packages. Yeah. Oh, we forgot to talk about Big Boss Man versus Midian.
Oh yeah,
the corporation versus the Ministry, and
that happened.
The Ministry.
It was fine, and it's cool to me because I've seen all the different versions of the Undertaker, because I was aware of Creepy Dead Man and Biker Taker. I forgot, or either forgot or didn't know he was a cult leader at one point. With the robes over his face.
I always knew of the Undertaker because he was big in wrestling, but this is like, when I got into it, this is where he debuted the Ministry of Darkness. I'm like, okay, I'm into this guy. Yeah. Holy shit, this is creepy.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah. And, one of his Ministry of Darkness was the guy who shouts "damn."
Yeah. Farouk.
Yeah.
Well, it was Ron Simmons, but he was Farouk during that. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Acolytes, like, they would beat the shit out of people. That was their whole point in the Ministry.
Yeah.
Beat the fuck out of everybody.
It was a good match. It was fun.
But yeah, there's not much to say about it. It's just, this was like...
Midian is a weird name.
It is like the perfect pay-per-view to watch to get like all of the Attitude Era stuff. It is your Attitude Era sampler platter. It's St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
That's a good description of it, actually.
Oh. Okay, I think we've talked enough, and you said it's late.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we'll be doing next.
Yeah.
We'll have to think of something.
We'll figure something out.
But till then, see ya.
Later, guys.